Everybody says 37s are too big for a Bronco. No, not that Bronco. Too much stress, too heavy, too much for a 4-cylinder. Instead of arguing about it in the comment section, I built the system. Now let's see if it fucking works. Hi, I'm John and this is Project Kehm. No sponsors, no free parts, no discount codes, no bullshit. This is a real build on a real budget with real consequences if I screw up. Alright guys, so let's clear this up right now. This isn't an install video. Nothing's been bolted on yet. Everything's been purchased, everything's sitting right here. This video is about where this build landed, why it landed there, and whether or not this setup actually makes sense for a daily driven 2-door Bronco. So I'm not building a rock buggy and I don't do Instagram, so nothing to gain there. My goal is pretty simple. I just want a daily driven Bronco that can handle 37s without feeling like shit or like something's gonna break every 5 minutes. That's the bar. So here's where we landed, and I'll start with the wheels because I know you care. The wheels, because this is a choice that sets everything else. These are 17-inch Icon Rebound Pros, 8.5 inches wide with about a plus 25 offset. That width and offset is what keeps the tire where it needs to be, not pushed way out and not sucked in. This helps the steering feel, the bearing life, and the daily drivability. This wasn't about looks first, it was about geometry. The tires I'm using are 37-inch Yokohama Geolandar MTs. They're heavy, they're aggressive, and yep, they're the whole reason this build exists. Once you commit to a tire like this, everything else has to support it, or the truck just starts feeling like crap. For the suspension, I'm running Bilstein 6112 coilovers. I've used Bilstein on multiple rigs. They've always been predictable, consistent, and easy to live with. This isn't a race setup, it's about control, stability, and not fighting the truck every day. Front end steering support. Up front, the steering and geometry matter more than people realize. I'm running Icon tubular upper control arms and Icon tie rods. These UCAs help keep alignment where it belongs with the lift, and the tie rods add strength where bigger tires actually load the system. This isn't about making it indestructible, it's about reducing stress where it counts. Out back, this is where the geometry really shows up. I'm running an Icon adjustable track bar with a Rock Jock track bar relocation bracket. That combo helps keep the axle centered and level instead of pulling it sideways and introducing weird handling. The rear upper and lower control arms, or otherwise known as trailing arms, are Icon as well, and I'll be straight about this choice in a minute. None of these parts live in isolation. This only works if the system works together. That's the whole point of this video. I wasn't going to run Icon rear control arms. Sorry, trailing arms for those of you who are picky about this. I was going to use Rock Jock, but shortly after Christmas, they were on a killer deal, and I pulled the trigger. Shortly after that, I had buyer's remorse, tried to cancel, they said it was too late, and to return them would be a 20% restocking plus shipping both ways. At that point, doesn't make any sense. I'm not made of money. I'm not using Monopoly money for this stuff. So I decided to keep them, I'm just gonna run them. And no, I don't think this is a massive downgrade. Do I think Rock Jock versus Icon is a night and day difference? Honestly, no. This is a real build, not a perfect one. Yeah, I know what you're probably thinking. Man, you got a lot of Icon. But I'm not sponsored, and I didn't get a deal. Well, outside the typical Black Friday that you could have got as well. And I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. But honestly, this is where I need to say something. Do brands matter? Sometimes, yeah. In specific cases with specific parts, absolutely. But most of the time it's loyalty, bragging rights, and my brand versus your brand bullshit. Sure, there are trade-offs. Sure, some designs are better for certain cases, but I'm not building this truck to win forum arguments. I don't give a shit about that. These parts fit the direction of the build. They were available when I needed them and the pricing made sense at the time. And that's it. If your favorite logo isn't on this truck, meh. I'm building something I actually plan to drive. So now let's talk about the elephant in the room, 37s. I've already gotten comments that they're too big, I'm gonna regret it, that my Bronco can't handle it. But here's the thing, tires don't live in isolation. They load steering, they load suspension, and they load the driveline. So instead of guessing, I built around them. If that works, great. If it doesn't, well then I have mud on my face and I'll own that too. I also keep hearing this one. 37s look like shit on a Bronco. All right, cool. That's subjective. Some people think pineapple on pizza is a crime against humanity. Some wear Crocs in public. We all make choices. And if you don't like the way 37s look on a two-door Bronco, yeah, it's not my problem. I like the proportions. I like the way it sits. And honestly, I'm the one driving it, not the comment section. Let's cut this off before the comment section explodes. Yes, 37s put more stress on the steering racks. I know that. I'm not pretending otherwise. But for how I drive, daily use, trails, forest, desert roads, I'm not worried about it at all. Not even a little. I'm not bouncing it off rocks with the wheels cranked. And I'm not doing dumb shit just to test parts. If that changes, we'll talk about it. Yeah, I'm going to be re-gearing. My past experience has taught me that bigger tires without gears just feels like shit. The throttle response suffers and the truck works harder than it needs to. That said, I've re-geared once before. It was a lot of work, took a lot of time, and honestly, I don't want to go down that road again. This time, I'm going to take it to a shop and let them do it. And yeah, people ask about cost. It isn't cheap, but it's also not a throw money at it build. I made my decisions based off budget, use case, and long-term livability. This isn't about flexing receipts. It's about building something that actually works. So here's the real question. Can a two-door Bronco with a four-cylinder engine run 37s and still be a good daily driver? I think we can tune this system to run beautifully. Worst case, it looks dumb, drives like shit, and then yeah, I deserve the comments. But I don't think that's where this is going to land. I think this is going to work. And if it doesn't, then I'll own that shit too. Everybody's been waiting for this build. Well, the parts are here, the plan's locked. Next is the install, the driving, and then the real world verdict. No hype, no bench racing, just miles.